Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 o'clock on November 10th. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. We're first going to turn over to our top story this morning. An end may finally be in sight to the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Lawmakers worked through the night on a deal to keep the government funded, but some are already frustrated by what's not included in the bill. Newswatch 12's Danny Stepanovich has been tracking the latest details and is joining us live in studio. And Danny, what can you tell us?
Morning, Carlos. The agreement is a compromise between centrist Democrats and Republicans. It does not extend expiring Obamacare subsidies, so many Democrats opposed it, but the bill funds much of the government through January. This morning, a possible end to the government shutdown.
Let's get the job done, and let's do it fast.
Overnight, the Senate advancing a bill to extend funding for the government through the end of January.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 senators breaking their party to vote for the compromise, which does not include Democrats' key demand to extend Obamacare subsidies and prevent premiums from skyrocketing, the very demand that led to the government shutdown in the first place. Instead, Republicans only promising a future vote on health care sometime next month.
If that is not successful, then shame on the Republican Party and shame on Donald Trump. But the American people will see who stands with them on health care and who does not. And that will be the platform of the next stage of the fight.
However, not all Democrats are on board.
I must vote no. This health care crisis is so severe, so urgent, so devastating for families back home that I cannot in good faith support this CR that fails to address the health care crisis.
Americans have been dealing with the consequences of the shutdown for weeks. Federal workers going without pay, airline passengers facing major delays and cancellations, and nearly 42 million Americans who depend on SNAP benefits were left in limbo.
How much did you have left in your account?
23 cents.
23 cents.
Yes.
Last night's deal does not mean the government is open. Senators still have to finalize the bill, and the House still needs to approve it, a process that could take days. If the plan becomes law, federal employees like air traffic controllers will get paid again. In studio, I'm Danny Stepanovich.
Thank you, Danny. After full SNAP benefits in Oregon went out on Friday, the USDA is now telling states to stop issuing them and undo benefits for November. The agency's new directive warns of serious consequences for states that ignore it. A Supreme Court order late Friday paused a lower court's mandate for full payments. Oregon's Attorney General responded yesterday.
They try and come back and penalize us to make sure that people have food assistance, we're going to fight like hell to make sure that they are unable to do that. It is unconscionable that we have a government that would want to penalize states for trying to put food in the hands of people who are hungry.
The governor also responding in a press release saying, quote, Oregon acted lawfully given the federal court's directive and the communications with the USDA. Kotek went on to say, I am disgusted that President Trump has the audacity to take taxpayers' money away from them when they are in crisis. Now let's go ahead and check in with Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress with a look at your Monday. And Sarah, I know we're tracking fog this morning, but just how cold is it this morning?
Oh, it definitely is a chilly start to your day, especially if your areas over east side. But in general, we're seeing 40s, 30s, 20s. The coast is a bit more mild into the 50s, getting ready to head out the door, but you're going to want to wear a few layers. We have 42 for Medford, 33 to Klamath Falls, 34 over to Montague, 51 right now over to Brookings. And today you can expect a very chilly start with areas of fog. We'll also see passing clouds, lighter winds, mild afternoon highs. Here's a look at that fog this morning, seeing varying amounts of visibility. We do have a dense fog advisory in place for our west side valleys, both in southern Oregon and northern California. So plan for some extra time, turn on those low beams and leave plenty of space between those cars. And like I mentioned earlier, you're gonna want to dress in layers today because our more morning is going to be very chilly, but by the time we work our way into the afternoon, evening, temperatures will be up into the mid-60s for those high temperatures today. Very similar to how we were feeling yesterday, so we were a fan of that weather. Expect a repeat again across the region. We're going to see those temperatures into the middle 60s. So we'll have 65 for Medford. Grants Pass will be at 66. Klamath Falls 64 today. Over to Wairika 67, even the 60s along the coast. Out into the next few days in the Rogue Valley, we can expect some nicer weather again into your Tuesday, maybe a bit more clouds. But Wednesday is when we'll start to see some changes. Winds will pick up across the region, but we'll also see rain return to the region later into your day on Wednesday. So coming up in your next forecast, I'll take a closer look at your morning commute around the region, but also take an in-depth look at what you can expect over the next few days.
Oregonians could receive some extra cash after filing their 2025 tax returns. The State Department of Revenue says tax surplus credits, or kickers, will go out next year. And that's because there's a surplus of more than $1.4 billion from the 2023-25 budget. Only those who filed returns in 2024 and 25 can receive a kicker, which will be a percentage of your 2024 personal income tax liability. If you didn't file your 2024 return, get it done now to receive your money next year. And the Oregon Department of Forestry is announcing the opening of industrial slash burning in Jackson and Josephine counties. Beginning today, agencies can begin slash burning to manage forest land used for growing or timber harvesting. Residents may see an increase in burning in high elevation and remote areas. ODF says anyone burning to make sure you're doing it safely and legally. And one Central Point family is finding a unique way to honor their dad while helping others at the same time. Newswatch 12's Grace Ritz has more on the story.
For many people, giving blood is scary and can feel like a chore, but not for Lanny.
He was very passionate about giving blood and donated gallons of blood.
When Lanny passed, his family knew exactly how to honor him and his life. A blood drive.
We've named the blood drive Living Life Like Lanny because he was such a kind-hearted, generous man. He would give you the shirt off his back.
16 years ago, Lanny was diagnosed with Parkinson's, but his family said his diagnosis didn't stop him from helping others.
He would drop everything he was doing to help others. And he was just a very well-respected individual in our community.
And his daughter, Stacy, says she hopes this blood drive will give people the courage to give blood and help others too.
Giving blood can be scary. So a lot of people are like, I'm not going to give blood. Part of the process is just to, again, don't be afraid. Try it. Try it once. And maybe you can save somebody's life by just giving a little bit of your own blood.
The blood drive is from 10 to 3 on November 11th in Central Point. For more information on signing up, you can visit our website. In Central Point, I'm Grace Ritz.
A nonprofit in Medford is asking community members to help fill their truck with bottles and cans to help feed families in need. The Kindness Effect says all cans and bottles donated will help fund the nonprofit's monthly food boxes and allow them to purchase food to fill their Thanksgiving food drive.
We're hoping that whatever funds that we can raise can help go towards, if we can't get them all donated, to go towards purchasing items that we need. We are working on donations for Thanksgiving. Our goal was to have a food box for everyone that came through, a Thanksgiving food box.
And bottle donations will continue until the end of November, and more information can be found on our website. And Medford residents may have drove past Harry and David Field and seen some construction going on. Well, the field is getting a bit of a makeover while the Rogues are in their off-season. Crews are replacing the ballpark's natural grass field with Bermuda grass. Now, this specific grass requires less water and mowing and heals quickly from damage. The turf, known as Tohama 31, it's also used in professional stadiums like Dodger Stadium and Angel Stadium. This project is made possible through the City of Medford's biannual budget. And looking ahead throughout this week, the City of Medford is bringing the past to life with their Eastwood Cemetery tour. Now step back in time on the free guided walk and discover the stories of some of Medford's most noble figures like Frederick Barnberg, who planted the Rogues Valley's first Bartlett pear trees in 1855. The tours will take place on Wednesday and Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we're continuing to gather enough groceries to fill an entire semi-truck for local families with our annual Stuff to Truck campaign, and it takes over 6,000 bags of groceries to do it, and we're just entering the second week. We collected more than 1,000 bags, and that's more than a 100% increase from previous years. But we still need about 5,000 bags of groceries, so if you want to help out, you can visit any Ray's food place and buy a $25 bag of groceries at checkout, and you can also head to kdrv.com to make a monetary donation.